Welcome to your 4 to 5, everybody. Eric Chilton alongside Chad Silver and Lauren Coleman.
We kick things off with two big stories in the Triad. A North Carolina A&T student is dead following a shooting, and a nurse accused of murder appeared in court.
Let's start with that shooting that she just mentioned. Greensboro police say a person or people shot several others last night at the Cottages, which is an off-campus housing complex. Police say 6 people were shot. 2 of them died, including 19-year-old Kanesha Turner, a North Carolina A&T freshman. We don't know the identity of the man who died. WFMY News 2's Hunter Funk is digging deeper today. Hunter, we still don't know who's responsible.
Yeah, that's right. There are no suspects in custody at this time. Now, police are asking for the public's assistance to try and find out who is responsible. Now, interim police chief of Greensboro, Teresa Biffle, says it appears there were multiple shots. Interim Police Chief Teresa Biffle says it appears there were multiple shots fired, and they are trying to determine how many shooters were involved. 2 people were found dead at the scene, and investigators say 4 more victims showed up at the hospital with gunshot wounds. Now, 1 is currently in critical condition. We're still working to get more information on the condition of the others who were shot. Nearby neighbors heard the block party around 11 last night and say the gunshot startled them, and they're still shaken up.
I heard gunshots just shooting around, and then last night when I looked out my back window, I seen it was a bunch of folks back there. It was a black party going back there.
It's really sad, honestly. It's unfortunate, especially since it's homecoming. We're supposed to be joyous and come together and have fun, and it's really unfortunate that we can't have fun and just enjoy our time here being in college.
And as for things going forward, Biffle says they're increasing their resources for this investigation. Now, police will increase patrol over the next few days as well. Biffle says it's a difficult situation to respond to.
They're sent off to college to get an education and have a fun time, and this tragedy occurs. Can't begin to imagine what they're going through, and the only thing I can do is make sure we do everything we can to bring people to justice that caused this.
And again, one of those victims that died here was a student from A&T, and she was from Statesville. And coming up at 5, we hear from her previous coach at Statesville High School.
Staying story. Thank you, Hunter. We'll check in with you a little later. Greensboro police released new details about a massive block party that grew out of control Monday night. Greensboro police responded to the Province apartment complex that's off of Garden Street shortly after midnight. Police estimate there were at least 1,000 people at this party. Rocks and bottles were also hurled at arriving officers. This prompted police to deploy tear gas and pepper spray. Students we spoke with say even with all the commotion, their safety was never a concern.
Me personally, I felt safe. That was just me, but I know everybody was just it was a whole lot of mixed feelings from everybody. Some people they didn't feel like they were safe, and some people was just out there. Then me personally, as long as I know I can get back home, I'm good.
There were no injuries to officers or those attending the party. So far, police have not made any arrests.
The other top story we are following today, the now former Forsyth County nurse who police say went rogue. 47-year-old Jonathan Hayes is accused of administering lethal doses of insulin, killing 2 patients and almost killing a third. The Forsyth County District Attorney says all options are on the table as far as punishment goes.
Hayes made his first appearance in court today. It was in person and no family members were present.
Hayes is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. The state says it could seek the death penalty. Jason Crump, who is a capital defender, will represent him. A capital defender is assigned when the death penalty is an option. Capital defender Crump says one of his first jobs is trying to get the death penalty off the table.
Everything that we do is to take the death penalty off of the table. That is our first goal as capital defenders. If the case is not capital, then our focus changes.
If the state does not seek the death penalty, the maximum first-degree penalty is life without parole. Hayes' next court date is November 10th.
If you or anyone you know might have more information on this investigation, there is a victim hotline now up Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Take a picture of the number on your screen here. You can also watch the full news conference on the investigation on WFMYnews2.com.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Students were remote today again following a fire at a Triad elementary school. It happened yesterday at Johnson Street Global Studies in High Point. No one was hurt, but the school did evacuate. Since kids had to leave immediately, parents had to pick up abandoned belongings today. Right now, it's unclear if students will return to the building tomorrow. We'll let you know when we find out.
Governor Cooper is calling for more electric vehicle sales. He signed an executive order this week telling state regulators to create a program requiring truck manufacturers to sell more zero-emission vehicles. The order still needs approval. Cooper hopes to have the program established by next spring. President Biden says he's taking new steps to help people financially. He revealed actions today to help eliminate hidden fees and charges on things like banking services and airline tickets. He says charges for bounced checks, credit card late fees, and insufficient funds are unfair and cost people tens of billions of dollars every year. Meantime, Republican lawmakers blame soaring prices on the Biden administration. With the midterms less than 2 weeks away, both parties say they are focused on the economy.
It's Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week, and this is the turning point when we talk about weather. Earlier this week, we've had dry time and temperatures in the 70s, but today we've seen showers in the early part of the day. Not seeing much of that now, but we are still seeing some clouds lingering. They took a long time before they started to give way to sunshine, but as of this afternoon, we're seeing a break as those clouds move east, and we're getting that sunshine to move in. This is a look at our sky cam views all across central North Carolina. You can see Truistfield getting the most sunshine as of now. UNC Greensboro getting a break in those clouds. App State still seeing abundant cloud cover. Our futurecast showing you those clouds continuing to shift off into the east and clearing out for your late night tonight. So your Thursday overnight and moving into the start of your Thursday morning, clear skies are in store. Now, as we go throughout the day on Thursday, sunshine is going to be on tap throughout the entirety of your Thursday, but the temperatures, well, they're going to fall. All of the clouds that we've been seeing today are in association with a cold front that moved through. So that cold front is going to bring in cooler air as we end out your work week and head into the weekend. Some chilly numbers in the forecast for your Halloween or your A&T celebrations. All of it features chilly weather. So I'll be showing you the 7-day coming up.
You know, we hear about fundraisers for a lot of different causes, but this one is a little bit different because this one gives away, get this, more than $100,000 in prizes. And the money helps out a local hospital. It's called the Sportsman's Saturday, and it's called that for a reason. I spoke with Burke McNeil with the Lexington Medical Center Foundation about this cool event.
This event caters to the outdoorsmen because the prizes that we raffle off are typically going to benefit or be items that folks would like to use that are avid outdoorsmen. So, for instance, we have a pontoon boat, a Ford pickup truck, a zero-turn mower is one of the prizes. We have a motorized fishing kayak, a ATV. We also have a Sea-Doo. So, if you like to be outdoors, this is really the event you'd like to attend.
Yeah, this is their biggest fundraiser of the year, as you might guess. The money raised, by the way, makes a big difference for health care in that part of the Triad.
The funds that we raise from this event will go towards our local hospital, and particularly this year, we plan to use those funds to enhance our emergency department. So every year we pick a certain project that we'd like to support, and last year, in fact, we were able to help in purchasing a Da Vinci robotic surgery system that is a state-of-the-art surgery system that allows for people to come do minimally invasive surgery here in Lexington. And what we found out from that is we're actually getting people that are coming from all over the state to our local hospital here in town.
It's really cool because, I mean, you saw some of the prizes. They're the real deal. It's like over $100 grand worth of stuff. But they're giving away like a pontoon boat and a truck and an ATV and a Sea-Doo. So it's an outdoorsman's kind of dream event. And it's hosted, you used to host this several times, you told me, right?
Yeah, I think 3 times it was,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So now they've got, so there's someone on the hospital administration that co-hosted, but they got Eric Montross, who played for Carolina basketball and was part of the '93 championship team. So those two kind of host it, and it's a blast, isn't it?
So much fun, and there's such an interesting dynamic because there's also bottomless drinks.
Oh.
And so you've got like the inside crowd that are just like laser focused on getting their name picked, and then you've got the people who are out back at the beer
Having
tents
fun,
just
yes.
having a great time.
The tickets are I think they're $100 each. You can still
Okay.
get them online. I mean, but to win a truck or
Or a boat.
Right.
Yeah, and you can still get them online up till Thursday. Don't quote me on that, but I know you can get them at the event, and it's outdoor this year in an amphitheater in Lexington.
And it might actually be quite a bit cheaper than that. I remember when I was looking, it was like $25 or $50 years ago. So it's
Yeah.
possible it's changed now. And I mean, you get all this barbecue. I mean, they have all this food included. So I mean, food, drinks. I mean, it's a pretty good deal.
Sounds like a great event for a great cause.
It'll be fun. We'll see you there, hopefully. We'll take a short break. Be right back.
Women make up about 9% of the construction worker workforce in the nation. That number grows smaller when you talk about who's on the front line of a job site. But one Rockingham County woman is leading the charge and a part of that small number.
Spotting men on a construction site is normal. Women? Not so much. That doesn't stop Courtney Reynolds from giving it her all every day on job sites.
As a kid, I didn't have many girlfriends. I did hang out with the guys. I played baseball, played softball, played a lot of sports, and it just kind of comes natural to have that group.
Hard hats and boots aren't always her daily uniform. She's in the trailer managing the work as an assistant project manager.
When I had the opportunity to work for a general contractor, it was kind of sink or swim, and I swam, and I really enjoyed the swim.
From college dropout to leading an $80 million new dorm project at High Point University, this is a full circle moment for Reynolds.
Over here, we call it the atrium. When I was in college, I really didn't have a clear path of what I wanted to do.
After 2 colleges and 3 majors, Reynolds left school in search of a career fit.
Managed a couple of restaurants during that time.
One of the restaurant owners offered Reynolds a life-changing opportunity.
Him knowing that I could manage people and manage the restaurant, that he trusted me to help him and manage his construction team.
She says it wasn't an easy move, but it was the right one.
It took me, I would say, 5-6 years to get comfortable with the industry, of course. It was brand new to me.
Although general construction was a new job industry for Reynolds, it wasn't new to her family.
My dad was in the HVAC business growing up. He actually built one of our homes. So I was around it. I just didn't know if I would enjoy it or not.
Reynolds says she loves it. She says the project is one of the most proudest moments in her career.
3 or 4 restaurants.
Oh, wow.
A coffee and juice bar, an esports, yoga studio, what else? And several lounges where the students can study.
It's like going back to college and having all that in my dorm room. What?
Sounds like a resort.
They have a restaurant with the sky view, like
nice.
all in your dorm.
That's HPU.
Right, yeah, you want to pay, what is it, $25,000 a year or
It's more
something?
than that. It's like double. Yeah, Manning, one of our photographers and our movie critic, of course, he went there and he said they call it the bubble. Because once you get outside of that, the real world's waiting.
Yes. Everything on that campus was beautiful. I love this story because she stopped going to college with an interest of figuring out what's next. So she just was managing at a restaurant, working at a restaurant, and the owner was like, hey, well, I have a construction company. I think you might be good at that.
Yeah.
And that's how she found her
crazy.
career.
Yeah, that was one of the things that stuck out to me because, you know, in this era of great resignation, you have all these people and friends like, I want to do something else, I want to do something else. But I think it's about how you sell yourself and taking the skill set that you already have to do something else.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's managing an $80 million project. So.
$80 million.
And
I've
you know
never
it's-
touched that much.
You know, it's going to be the most stable building with the most beautiful things in it, right? It's going to be like the best one on campus.
I think
too.
I need to get another degree. I might go back to school so I can stay there.
Yep, it's supposed to open next fall. So students heading next fall, they'll be able to stay there.
A year from now.
That's really cool.
All right, move back. Stay there.
Yesterday afternoon, our high temperatures topped off in the 70s. Today, we didn't quite get that warm, and that's due to that persistent cloud cover that we had to deal with for most of our morning. 67 is the current temperature in Greensboro. We're right around that high temperature for today. We're still right around there. 64 in Winston-Salem. The warmest spot I'm seeing in the central Piedmont is 70 in Lexington. When we look further south, that's where we see some of the warmer numbers, but it's been an overall cool day, and that's due to the clouds. Now, as we see to the west in the mountains, winds are picking up at times, and I'm expecting that to spread across the central Piedmont as we go over the next several hours. So we could get some stronger wind gusts through the latter part of your Wednesday and the start of your Thursday. So looking over the next several hours, we see wind gusts possibly peaking upwards of 20 miles per hour. These winds coming out of the north, which is going to help to push in chillier air for the end of your work week. So Thursday, Friday, we're seeing numbers that are going to stay in the 60s and maybe really barely escape the 50s, especially for the weekend, where high temperatures stay around 61, 62 for a lot of places. As we continue through the day on Friday, we're seeing wind gusts upwards of almost 20 miles per hour as well, and that's continuing through your Saturday. So breezy at times for the next several days. Have yet to show you the 7-day, but you see it here. Heavy rain on the way Sunday night going into your Monday.
Pumpkin lovers, listen up. Today is National Pumpkin Day. The day recognizes this favorite fall decoration and food. You know, pumpkins, they're used for pies, festivals, and even competitions. So I asked you on my Facebook page, what is your favorite thing about pumpkins? And we got a lot of different answers here. Brandon Austin says roasted seeds. Gladys Blair wrote, nice for decorating. I love sweet potato pie. Vicki Smith, my goats eat them. Alex Wilson, carving. Melita Hatley said pumpkin bread. I can agree with that. Lynn Bridges says nothing. I'm a true North Carolina sweet potato kind of girl. lady.
I'm all about the seeds.
You are?
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like pumpkin pie, but like I get the pumpkins, I buy them in the store just for the seeds, throw the pumpkin out.
Really? I can eat pumpkin pie. It's not like my favorite, but I'll eat it. I like it, okay. Pumpkin spice anything, I'm good.
Yeah.
Pumpkin bread?
Pumpkin
with,
bread.
With that cream cheese or whatever on it, please.
Pumpkin muffins, anything like that.
Yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
Biscuitville has a really good pumpkin muffin that I really like. But yeah, I'm all about the food. I'm not really into pumpkin pie like that. I do like it. I prefer sweet potato pie. I didn't have my first pumpkin pie till about 3 years ago. Someone brought some to work, and I was like, it's not too different from sweet potato pie, but I think the sweet potato is a little sweeter.
I like sweet potato casserole. I've had that before.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's really good.
I just can't. So, like, what would be your favorite kind of pie? You said sweet potato pie.
That's not my
Of any
favorite
kind of
kind of pie.
Of like Thanksgiving style pie.
Pecan pie.
Oh, yeah, okay, me too. Yep, I'm with you on that.
I really like where they, it's like a combination of the two. You've got the pumpkin pie and then a layer of pecan pie on top of it.
Oh,
that
I've never
actually
had
sounds
that.
really good. I've
It's
never
really
had
good.
that before. You
It's
might have to
really
bring
good.
some back for us.
Stand in line for that. All right, let's check in with Monique.
So talking about pumpkins, let's say you went to the pumpkin patch, bought a fresh and healthy jack-o'-lantern, but like any fresh fruit, it's not looking so vibrant as the day before. So you're worried that it won't last another week for the Halloween holiday. And you're likely right. Most pumpkins last 5 to 10 days. So for the worried decorator or the curious Carolinian, I've got the science hack for you. If you're trying to keep your pumpkin from drying out, you can rub petroleum jelly or olive oil on the carved places and all in the inside and the scooped out area. Farm manager Megan Fields also gives tips on how to keep the bacteria away.
You can also take a mixture of a quart of water along with a tablespoon of bleach, put it in a spray bottle and spray the entire pumpkin, which kills all the bacteria, which helps with mold and rot.
Weather plays a part too in keeping these pumpkins fresh, so I'm calling it the 50 rule. Temps below 50 are no good for your pumpkin. If the forecast temperature calls for a temperature below 50 degrees, bring that pumpkin indoors into a warmer environment.
See, it was much easier where I grew up because at this time of year, you could,
50 below.
You could have freezing temperatures throughout the day. So it's really like your pumpkin is just kind of sitting there in frozen in time.
An ice spot.
Yeah,
a block of ice.
It doesn't rot when it's frozen, right?
Yeah.
So
You can put it in the windowsill.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. When you carve them out, I learned a life hack the other day because I was watching Jennifer Garner's TikTok account, and she put mixers. You know, the electric mixer. You put that inside, and it chops all of the stuff out on the inside, so you can just scoop it out real quick instead of having to scrape around. So I'm gonna try that.
Something
this year.
different.
You could probably do that for a watermelon too, maybe.
Yeah, you could. I
So you can
guess,
get all this stuff out. But the watermelons are larger than pumpkins.
And they're probably a little easier to scoop out too.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. We digress. We're going to take a break, and we shall return.
Oh, you okay?
Where are you going, Lauren?
Whoopsie!
Great. Wow, Lauren.
Yes, I
Explain
almost took a
yourself.
fall. Y'all almost saw me lose some cool points on live
It's
TV.
fall.
Lauren
y'all.
was going on a trip. We don't know where she was going though.
If y'all don't know, I stand on a little box because I'm a little shorter than everybody else, and my heel got kind of caught on the box there. So that's what just happened.
It was like this quick.
But
jerk.
my face had quick panic.
It did.
Right.
It
Do you know? So so I went and did a story at Wheel of Fortune,
Yeah.
and so behind the wheel where everybody stands, they raise and lower the floor depending on your height to try to get everybody close to
Maybe
the
we
same
need
height.
to do that.
did. Yeah. You gotta pay a lot of money to have that.
Right, yeah.
So they're just like somebody over there with a remote control, making sure everybody's even.
Yep,
I guess, right?
That would be kind
That's
of cool.
Yeah, then anyone
So
can stand
how
in a
would
box
we do Ben
anymore.
Briscoe then?
We'd have to make a big hole in the floor.
Yeah, giant hole in the floor.
Have him go down. 'cause
Right.
What's your most embarrassing moment on TV, Chad?
That no. Just,
Oh gosh. So one time I was doing a story. It was probably my first year in television, so about 15 years ago, and I was doing a story on this fish disease that was killing fish by basically turning their insides to jelly, like nothing. And I didn't want to have to say it, but I knew that I had to, right? So It's pronounced viral hemorrhagic septicemia.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh,
And
you remember it now.
VHS for short,
Okay,
yeah.
VHS.
And so I had to say it on TV, and I just butchered the heck out of it. But it made me laugh. So I'm laughing through this whole story while I'm talking about this deadly fish disease
virus.
that's like just taken over a lake.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, Facebook, there
Say
you
it
have
again
it. But we
3
gotta
times
go.
fast.
I'll tell mine next.
Viral hemorrhagic septicemia.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Eric, Chad, and Lauren with you today.
Yeah, we're going to kick things off again with 2 big stories here in the Triad. A North Carolina A&T student is dead following a shooting, and then a nurse accused of murder appears in court.
Let's start with that shooting here. Greensboro police say a person or people shot several others last night at the Cottages, which is an off-campus housing complex. Police say 6 people were shot, 2 died, including 19-year-old Kanesha Turner, a North Carolina A&T freshman. We don't know the identity of the man who died.
Interim Police Chief Teresa Biffle says they're trying to determine how many shooters were involved. She says the incident was a difficult situation to respond to.
They're sent off to college to get an education and have a fun time, and this tragedy occurs. Can't begin to imagine what they're going through, and the only thing I can do is make sure we do everything we can to bring people to justice that caused this.
The department is beefing up patrol and resources to help find who is responsible. It's such a shame that something like this can really just kind of put a damper on the celebration that every year is so anticipated by so many.
It's so sad. We think about, I mean, a freshman in college, man. That's when it's all starting, and you got your whole life ahead of you, and that's tragic. That's what makes this, to me, the most tragic is the age.
Some of my best years were my freshman year of college, and when you think about your child going to school, you expect for it to be a safe environment. You know, sometimes things do happen, but it's just sad that it happened on a week where there's so much celebration and so much positivity going on. You know, you heard the young ladies in the 4 o'clock hour that were speaking on that situation where it's just, you know, it's just sad. They just want to go out and have a good time. So. And
think about all of the tens of thousands of people who are just doing things the right way, and then you've got 1 or 2 bad eggs, and it just ruins it for everybody.
Ruins it for everyone, and you just never know what changes could happen moving forward because of something like that.
Yeah, we'll be keeping you posted, of course, as we get more information.
So the other big story that we were following today, the now former Forsyth County nurse accused of murder. 47-year-old Jonathan Hayes is accused of administering lethal doses of insulin, killing 2 patients and nearly a third. The Forsyth County District Attorney says all options are on the table, including the death penalty.
Hayes made his first court appearance today. It was in person and no family members were present.
Hayes is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. Jason Crump will represent him as a capital defender.
Everything that we do is to take the death penalty off of the table. That is our first goal as capital defenders. If a case is not capital, then our focus changes.
If the state does not seek the death penalty, the maximum first-degree penalty is life without parole. His next court date is November 10th.
And there is now a hotline set up for anyone who might know more information about this case. The number's there on your screen. You can also watch the full news conference of the investigation on WFMYnews2.com.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, the FBI is combing through the manifesto from a man police say killed 2 people at a St. Louis high school. The 19-year-old gunman got into the building on Monday armed with an AR-15 style rifle. Investigators say the death toll could have been much higher had it not been for their swift response. 3 counselors remained on campus today supporting students and staff. The 2 people killed were a 15-year-old student and a teacher who was getting ready to retire. A jury has decided the fate of a Wisconsin man accused of killing 6 people when he allegedly drove his SUV into a Christmas parade last year. They found Darrell Brooks guilty of all 76 counts today in court. Brooks represented himself during the month-long trial. He now faces life in prison for the 6 first-degree intentional homicide charges.
Governor Cooper wants more people to buy electric vehicles, so he's trying to require more options. He signed an executive order telling state regulators to create a program requiring truck manufacturers to sell more zero-emission vehicles. The order still needs approval from a commission. Cooper hopes to have the program established by next spring. President Biden says he is taking new steps to help people financially. He revealed actions today to help eliminate hidden fees and charges on things like banking services and airline tickets. He says charges for bounced checks, credit card late fees, and insufficient funds are unfair and cost people tens of billions of dollars every year. Meantime, Republican lawmakers blame soaring prices on the Biden administration. With the midterms less than 2 weeks away, both parties say they're focused on the economy.
So I got 3 things for you to know for the next couple of days. We're breezy, dry, and chilly on Thursday. Chilly continuing through your Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday with partly cloudy skies, but we're staying dry. On and off showers possible heading into your Halloween Monday. This can negatively impact trick-or-treaters possibly, but before we get to that, let's just talk about Saturday and Sunday. I know a lot of folks looking forward to the weekend with a lot of stuff happening. For your Saturday, make sure to bundle up. 62 is a cold number, and as we go through the day, it's going to be below that. 62 is that high temperature. We will briefly reach that in the afternoon, but for most of your day will be below 62. So it's going to be a chilly Saturday. Your Sunday, just about the same weather, but late in the day, that's when the showers do arrive. Let's take a look at our futurecast. Staying dry through your Thursday and your Friday, as I mentioned, even Saturday. Now you see this rain, it's getting closer late Sunday night. Timestamp on there, 7 p.m. Don't hold tight to the number, but just know that in the evening is when the rain is expected to move in. Now, as we go through the day, nighttime on Sunday and into the day on Monday, the rain continues to come on down, and then it will be clearing out and moving east by Monday evening. So between Sunday night and Monday night, we're going to be dealing with off and on showers through that entire period. More rain than what was expected for today. This is going to be the next best rain chance is coming Sunday night and heading into your Monday. So that Halloween day forecast on Monday, on and off showers, cloudy and a 65. Halloween temperatures are going to be in the mid 60s. This is a little bit below average, but we're going to be on a warming trend after that heading into the midweek next week. Your full 7 days showing you here. Chilly weekend. Rain coming in Sunday night, going into Monday, and warming up as we go head to Wednesday next week.
Students are the #1 priority. Bell Posey says after 2 years of virtual events, getting together in person again is going to be the real treat. Bald Eagle, it's baby Eaglet, checking in. On the way. On the way. How do I sound? Talk to me. Let me know something, Brad. You ain't said nothing. I just been talking and talking and talking.
North Carolina A&T's homecoming is anything but small. To add to the festivities and give back to the community, one alumna does her part by way of the annual Aggie Pride 5K. WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey joins us now with that story.
In 2019, fitness enthusiast and North Carolina A&T alumna Trina Posey Bell came up with an idea. Let's find a way to add a fresh and fit twist to the greatest homecoming on earth. What she came up with is the Aggie Pride 5K fun run and walk. Alumni from across the country make the trip back to Aggieland every year for homecoming, and this event brings everyone together to kick off the weekend.
As an avid runner, I wanted to, give the experience of not only health and wellness, but just also the experience and exhilaration that comes with doing a 5K to, our alumni and to help students. So the main goal of this particular race is to provide scholarships for existing A&T students.
All proceeds from this event will go to support current students experiencing some form of financial hardships. And although the students are the #1 priority, Bell Posey says after 2 years of virtual events, getting together in person again is going to be the real treat.
There's always going to be a need for scholarships. There's always going to be a few students who not only have a financial need, but maybe a burden. So if we can release that burden to provide more education opportunities for our students, and as an alumni, class of '93, this is just fulfilling in more ways than one.
If you haven't signed up for this year's Aggie Pride 5K at Barber Park, it's not too late. Registration is $35, and I've attached a link where you can sign up for Friday's fun on our website.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, you said 5K, and I was like, and you said and walk. I said I'm in. There
Yeah.
you go. You got me.
I have never done a race.
Me neither.
Oh, really?
Ever.
Oh, you should do it.
Of any size. I can run, yeah, but I've just never done a race.
They're always a good time just to be there with everybody else with the matching shirts,
Yeah.
and you have people cheering you on, and you can walk or you can run. Some
Yeah.
people are competitive, but it's just a good time just to be there with other people.
I've done 5Ks and one 10K, but that was
Ooh,
back
10K.
back when I could do it.
10K.
I did the 5K once and I was bonking. It was like 2 miles in. I was like, so I started walking, and these two ladies came by and grabbed me by the arm and said,
Really?
"Let's go!" And they push you and you get through
That's
it.
funny,
Yeah.
yeah.
5K, 3K, no K, I'm not doing it.
No K.
I'm too competitive and I'm not that great of a runner, distance-wise, so
So you'll
it's
get
not for me,
upset.
but I'll go support, I'll donate.
Sure, absolutely.
I'll hold a sign,
Or
I'll
walk.
do the cups with the water, but
That's
it's
right.
not my thing.
And I love that it's going to benefit kids with financial hardships, because we all know what it's like to be a poor college kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Everyone
sure.
does.
Yeah.
Well, Grant Gilmore that used to work here, he would run a 5K in 15 minutes. 15 minutes is 3 miles.
He's crazy.
3.1.
He played college soccer though, so
Yeah,
I mean,
he's-
like he's in a
15
different
minutes?
upper
That's
echelon.
about my mile.
Yeah, he's,
You hear
Not
me?
that, yeah, because that's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah,
he was just a big runner. So
Okay.
I mean, just props to him.
Well, here's another great story. So you guys remember we told you yesterday about the North Carolina A&T's Nike shoe launch. More than 1,000 Aggie fans visited the Athlete's Foot in Winston-Salem. Only 100 people were able to take home the specially designed Nike shoe. Senior Ariel Robinson designed that shoe in honor of the school, the perfect addition to an Aggie homecoming outfit. I mean, she's just so fly. She's so cool. I've been looking at her Instagram, just seeing all the pictures. And I'm like, her family and friends have to be so proud of her. If you take a look at the video behind us, there was like a door that just had her picture all over it with her wearing the shoes.
The shoes look good though.
They do look good.
Yeah, they very, very clean. I was actually in the raffle trying to get a pair, and my ticket was not drawn. And I'm a little upset about it because I kind of had an outfit ready to go for Saturday, but hey, here we go. And now I have to adjust.
So is this, you'll never be able to get more, or they will?
There's always a way, but I'm not paying that price. I'm not paying that price.
Our producer said, for how many? $400?
$400.
At least, yeah. On that resale market, man, the sneaker game is insane now.
Yeah, it is. It really
In a special edition, something like this, that means something to so many people, the demand's through the roof.
Yeah, especially dropping it on a week like this week, homecoming. So I'm sure a lot of people were trying to get those shoes.
Oh, yeah. Overnight celebrity, though, I'll tell you that.
As soon as you show up with that, yeah, with that shoe on.
Well, keep making us proud. Keep making the Triad proud. Congratulations, Ariel.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll see you in a bit.
Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. So these are the typical homemade kind of Halloween treats, right? You got the Oreo bats on the left. I like the addition of the fangs with the icing. That is fun. Then there's the witch's fingers. That's made with pretzel rods, green colored chocolate, sliced almonds for the nails. And don't forget those Nutter Butter Ghosts. They're easy and the kids can be part of all of the making. So did you have treats like this that you grew up with, or do you have those kinds of treats now?
The only fancy thing we did was the bump on a log with the ants on a log with the raisins and the celery.
Leslie does a, she takes like whatever the dough is you can buy that's already in the can, you pop out, cut it in tiny strips, and you wrap a hot dog up. And
like
then
a mummy.
The mummy, that's right, the mummy dogs.
A mummy dog,
Cook the hot
okay.
dogs.
I always like the dirt cups.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's like Oreo and all this stuff,
Right,
and you put worms in it.
A gummy worm.
I like that.
I saw just recently on Instagram, someone made a charcuterie with prosciutto and like cheese underneath, and they made it look like a hand.
Oh.
That was too gross for me.
I can't do that.
That was too gross for me. Okay, so those are the homemade bakers. How about let's kick it up a notch. Check out the Cake and the Bake Show in London. The edible creations are all competing in a bakery competition at the show. And I'm gonna give you some close-up looks at some of these Halloween cakes. All right, first and foremost, let's check out the crazy jack-o'-lantern with the eye hanging out and the mouse on top. Those colors are so vibrant. This is cake, people. Now, I wanna show you another one. He's got the seeds coming out of one of the eye holes. I thought he was pretty funny. And then on the cute side, this is a turning cake. It lets you mix and match the monsters. This was one of the coolest things to me.
It's edible art, you know, and as a trained pâtissier, I'm not trained to do that kind of cake. So my only concern sometimes with those cakes is, you know, they're not real underneath, or they take so long to decorate when the inside is not going to be that fresh. But as a showpiece, unbelievable.
Yeah, really cool showpieces. Now I want to show you this one, Paddington Bear.
Oh, wow.
And look, see, this is a nod to the Queen
That's
who died earlier this
cake?
year.
They did
that was
so
a
great
cake.
how
Yes.
detailed it is.
Yes.
I love watching those baking shows. There's one called Is It Cake? And you have to
Yes.
guess which one is cake. And some
I've
of
seen
the
that.
things look so real. So,
I mean, they use airbrush paint,
fondant, molding chocolate.
all that kind of stuff.
I just want to eat it.
I know, I do. I want to eat the cake. And like he said, you know, some of them are like showpieces, and other ones you wonder, like, are they good enough to eat kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm very big on, if I decorate a cake, everything's going to be edible on it and in it, and it's going to taste good.
And she's really good at that, by
Oh,
the
that's
way.
what I hear.
Yes, really good at that stuff. Love it. All right, as long as we are talking about Halloween and thereabouts, I asked you on Facebook to describe the best Halloween costume you have ever seen.
Ever?
Yes, ever. Angela says, my husband made this giant death costume. It had red lights for the eyes. He made it so it fit over his head. It made him look like he was 7 feet tall. He asked me out on our first date in that costume. And they are married, by the way.
We need to talk.
Yes, that's right. That's right. All right, Justin says, a couple's Halloween costume. The theme was deer in the headlights. Imagine that, if you will. Michelle says, I knew someone who wore a black leotard with cereal attached to it. They were a serial killer. That's what they were saying. And then Gary said, I've actually seen this one before, a gray sweatshirt with just a letter P on it, and then you put black makeup around one eye, and you were a black-eyed pea.
Oh, that's creative. That's cute.
So the craziest one I've ever seen was in college, and this guy, Halloween in Chapel Hill, they blocked the street off. It's a big deal. And this guy, what looked like a gorilla carrying a cage with this crazy little man in it. What it was from the waist up was him with fake legs in the cage, but from the waist down, it was the gorilla part. So the gorilla top part of the body was fake.
Right.
It was the craziest guy. It looked just like a gorilla carrying this crazy little
Was this
man.
something he made or he got online?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was kind of both.
Yeah.
Maybe a gorilla costume and the rest of it made. I don't know.
Interesting. My favorite is your costume.
Which one?
The one when you were the cowboy,
Vegas
you were
cowboy.
and it had all the like
the electric
glow
cowboy.
sticks or whatever. I mean, it really glowed everywhere.
And I sewed the darn thing.
You did?
I sewed
Yeah, I
it.
remember you showing
Chad
us that picture
Silver.
last year.
Just sewing, and then I was hot glue gunning things to my pants and my boots, and
That
it
is,
was,
I've
it
got to
was
see
wild.
a picture. I haven't seen
I
it.
will,
So
yeah.
it looks like a neon cowboy sign, and he looks like he's actually the neon cowboy, right?
I'll post it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
wanna
that.
see that.
But yeah,
I've
it took a
seen
while.
a lot of really cool costumes, but I always like it when people are creative and just pick stuff out of their closet that they put together. So last year, Kiara, one of our morning producers, she was Jake from State Farm.
Oh, that's
so she
hilarious.
had a red polo, the khaki. She pinned her hair up and just had Jake from State
Oh,
Farm.
That's
I
very
love
funny.
that.
Yes.
And I was like, that is so creative. Like,
Yes.
this is like the cutest thing.
I remember in
So-
college too, I saw some girls, they were wearing slips, but they had the word Freud written on them, so they were Freudian
Freudian
slips.
slips.
But it took me like, a few minutes to
Right.
understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
If we'd like to see your
Yeah.
costume, so
Absolutely.
send them to us.
Yes.
We'd like to see it.
All right, let's see what's happening with the forecast. It's pretty comfortable these days.
Temperatures sitting in the mid-60s. The good news is the sun is shining for the end of your Wednesday. That sunset in about an hour and a half. You get a little bit of time with the sun. You see the winds are picking up. With this is our sky view of Burlington, and you can see these flags waving, showing you the winds are a little gustier, and that's going to continue as we go into the late day. This is a look at downtown Greensboro. Again, more sunshine as compared to earlier. More likely when you head to work, things looked gray. As you're leaving work, it looks much nicer. Temperatures in the upper 60s there. Tonight, they're going to be falling down into the 40s, upper 40s. And then as we move over the next several days, we're going to be seeing more chilly temperatures in the forecast. Clear skies for you tonight with those winds picking up. So the forecast planner for tomorrow, what you can expect is temperatures right in those mid 60s, a few clouds here and there, but more of a sunny day as compared to today. We had abundant cloud cover for most of the day. Not going to be the case tomorrow. Temperatures on the cooler side, that average temperature being about 68. We are below that for tomorrow, and then we're going to continue to stay on the chilly side of that average temperature over the weekend. Your 7-day shows it here, 62, 62, 62. You're going to want to bundle up for any time you are going to be outdoors this weekend, as those numbers are cold. Starting next week, we're on a warming trend, but we also have rain in the forecast.
The incidents in Greensboro have the city trending online, many offering their condolences to the victims in the tragedy.